Good day, Prof. Diana, Shine, and to everyone. I'm Rosalea M. Ignacio of VSENT 3-2. And I'm going to present our family business for requirements po, which is Metrobank Group. So, the first part po is already reported po by my partner, Danny Catraico. And before po ako mag-proceed sa pagre-report po ng aking part, I would like to present to you po a small video po na kinreate ko po, which is nandito po nakapaloob yung mga natutunan ko po sa ating previous lesson. So, let's start. So, it says that some practice po ay dapat na ipapamala sa loob ng family business. And of course, professionalize your personal relationship. Napaka-importante po nito sa isang family business. Then, start the process po by using these frameworks po. So, naghanda po ako dito ng illustrations po using video po para may pakita ko po sa inyo ang nilalaman at nakapaloob po sa loob ng 3 circle models po, which is yung family, ownership, and yung business. So let's start. Gagamitin ko rin po ito as a roadmap po, so that we can anticipate conflicts po na nangyayari sa loob ng isang negosyo. And gagamitin din po natin itong transition o yung tinatawag natin identifying the so-called transitional phases from time. The business is still in its growth phase all the way up hanggang sa time na yung hahawak po ng negosyo ay siya naman po ang magmamanage. Okay? So, mahalaga din po yung pag-i-introduce ng families and rules in the family business po. Nandito rin po yung siguro yung pagkukuha po ng HR person po sa loob ng isang family business para po tulungan po yung yung owner po ng isang negosyo para ma-define po yung conflicts na nangyayari inside the business. Where the conflict po, goals and objectives po, pati roles and responsibilities ay hindi nag-a-align. Okay? Yan po ang bumubuo sa family, 3-circle family, 3-circle models po, which is the family, the ownership po, and the business. Sa family po, usually, din dito nagsisimula yung first generation, kung saan yung, yun po yung nagtatayo ng negosyo. Then, yung ownership, dito po na ipapasa yung negosyo na minana po nila from their parents po, which is the first generation. Ito po yung tinatawag na second generation. Then, ito po yung third generation po, which is the business po kung saan ang mga magulang po ay nagbibigay na ng negosyo, duties and responsibilities sa kanilang mga anak. Even to the third generation po, which is the, ayun po, yung cousins. Then kung makikita po natin dito sa loob ng circle model po, yan. Kadalasan pong nagkakaroon ng conflict pag may pumapasok po, yan po, which is yung cousins, yung in-laws, kasi lalo na po kapag um, ah, wala po silang proper orientation, at hindi po nagtutugma ah, yung kanilang nalalamang policies, responsibilities, yun. Nag-lead po siya into conflict. Then, ano po ba yung kadalasang nangyayari inside the family business at dapat pong naipapamalas naman sa loob ng negosyo ng isang pamilya? So of course, nandito po yung emotional, uh, which happens po na, okay, ito po, sorry for nagkaroon ba ng problem? So sa emotional po, of course. Ang katumbas kasi ng emotional sa family, nandyan yung emotional. So ang katumbas naman niya sa business is profit. It's all about economic situation in the business. Second, sa family, meron din tinatawag na entitlement, which is sa entitlement naman po, nandiyan po yung kapag pasok mo sa company, syempre may last name will be my first life. Yun po yung tinatawag na ano ah ano yan business yan ng tatay ko, negosyo yan ng tatay ko. So supposedly entitled ako sa business. Ganun po. Pero opposite po siya in business. Kasi ang nangyayari naman po sa entitlement sa loob ng family, then sa business po, dapat based pa rin siya sa quality visions. So, nandyan din po yung feelings na tinatawag. Opposite din po ito sa business. Sa family, yan nandyan yung mga feelings yung nararamdaman yun. Hindi dapat yung ipinamamala sa loob ng negosyo. Kasi sa business, dapat pinamamalas talaga yung accountability. Which is, sa business, wala dapat personalan. Wala siyang dapat, wala dapat paghahalo ng emotions, feelings, sa loob ng operations inside the business. And then sa family, kailangan may harmony din, of course. Ayan, the last one. Diyan din yung harmony. Dapat laging highlighted yung, of course, sa business naman, dapat laging highlighted sa business yung meritocracy. At kailangan may congruence po sila sa policies inside the business. Family emotions po. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Okay. Sa loob ng family, nandiyan yung emotion, inward looking, and little change. While sa business naman po, nandito yung profit are outward looking and fast change. And kapag pinagsama mo sila, this is where it gets interesting. At pumapasok po dito yung conflict. Nagkakaroon ng may nabubuong problema. Okay. So, yan. Isa rin sa mga natutunan ko, of course, how to apply a business first model to your family business. Of course, kinakailangan dapat nag-establish ng rules, policies for your business. Isi-segregate mo dapat dito yung family time from business. Hiwalay palagi ang family and business. So, dapat, of course, ito yung palaging ipinaliliwanag niyo po sa amin na sa loob ng negosyo, dapat talaga na-i-establish palagi yung clear and regular methods of communication. Dapat may congruence po lahat in terms of communication, because communication is the key. Then, dapat palaging na freshen up sa organization yung roles and responsibility ng bawat isa para hindi nagkakaroon ng problema, hindi nagkakasapawan. Kasi dapat sa isang family business, talaga dapat nagtutulungan ng bawat isa for its success. Then, okay, siyempre tinuro nyo rin po sa amin na as far as I remember po, tinuro nyo rin po sa amin na if you own a business, make sure dapat meron po itong pinanghahawakang operational manual, which is dapat documented, strictly implemented, at dapat palaging nababasa ng bawat isa. So, dito po yung put all business agreements in writing, of course. Yun, gaya po ng sabi po ninyo, i-document lahat ng business protocols, and dapat lagi nasusunod lahat yung HR rules, of course, para hindi nagkakaroon ng conflict inside the family business. Okay? So, napakahalaga po nito para mag-grow ang isang negosyo. Okay, so now let's proceed po from my part, which is the theoretical concepts to real-world family business scenarios through case studies and practical exercises. So, me and my partner po, Danica Trahi po, nag-conduct po kami ng interview with an Metrobank employee po, which is si Mrs. Marites Malubag po, na nag-work sa Metrobank in IT department for 2 decades na po. So, ano po ba yung mga napag-usapan po namin sa pag-i-interview? So, upon interview po, nag-conclude po kami ng mga case studies, and also doon rin po yung nagbigay kami ng theoretical application at practical exercise. Okay? So, the theoretical concepts to the real-world family business, of course, ang pinili namin business is Metrobank Group na binuo at pinamahalaan ni Dr. George C., which is siya po ang founder also ng GP Capital Holdings po. At ang isa sa pinakainiwan niyang legacy business dito sa ating bansa ay yung Metrobank. So the first case study po na aming nabuo ay una, dito po namin pinaiiting ang power struggle between family members. So nagbigay po kami ng isang scenario, nakabuo kami ng isang scenario, which is ang scenario natin po, may yung dalawang magkapatid, si Alex and Maya, are po CEOs po ng Metrobank. For example lang po ito. They have different leadership style. Magkaiba po sila ng pamamaraan ng pamamalakad, pati leadership. And their relationship has become strained due to conflicting opinions on the direction of the company. So ano po yung theoretical application na aming in-apply in this scenario? Of course, number 1, yung resource dependence theory, which is yung magkapatid dapat nagre-rely sila on each other po sa pagbubuo ng decision making. And resource allocation has created a power struggle. Of course, nandito rin yung institutional theory. The family's cultural values and norms have been compromised due to the absence of clear decision-making processes. So, dapat kailangan palagi na-review rin talaga yung operational manual. Kasi yun yung pangahawakan ng bawat isa para magkaroon sila ng clear decision, magkaroon sila ng open and clear communication. Dapat palaging aligned and congruent yung kanilang vision, mission, goals, objectives, pati yung kanilang jobs and responsibilities. As I've said earlier, hindi dapat nagsasapawan inside the family business. Dapat dito nagtutulungan. So, for the practical exercises po na in-apply namin with in this case study po, of course, number 1, kailangan mag-conduct po sila ng family business workshop na kung saan si Alex po pati si Maya ay ma-discuss nila ng mabuti yung goals and values and expectation po inside the family business. And also makakatulong po ito sa kanila to help identify areas of agreement and disagreement. Of course, nandyan din yung kailangan nakakapag-establish sila ng clear decision-making process na outline po nila ng mabuti yung roles and responsibility ng bawat isa para po ma-reduce yung power struggles o yung conflict na nangyayari. Then, ang pangatlo po ay mag-implement ng co-CEO system where both siblings po have equal say in major decisions. So, dapat kailangan yung dalawang magkapatid po, meron silang pantay na karapatan o pantay na balancing pagdedesisyon po para magkaroon ng neutral third party mediator to resolve conflicts. Okay, so now let's proceed po for the case study number 2, which is nandito naman po yung generational differences. So, ang scenario naman po na ginawa namin dito is where Dr. George Atipo, which is the founder of Metrobank po, is concerned about the lack of involvement from his children in the business. So, his children are not interested, hindi po interested yung mga anak niya in taking over the company. Citing differences in values and work ethic. So, aside from ayaw mag-take over ng kanyang mga anak dun sa business na kanyang in-establish, magkakaiba rin sila ng values and work ethic. Ano po ba yung theoretical application na aming nakita na kinakailangan gawin ng scenario na ito para magkaroon ng resolution on this problem? So, of course, number 1, kailangan ng sociological institutionalism where the family's cultural values po and norms have changed over time, leading to generational differences in values and work ethic. So number 2, kailangan nandyan din yung resource dependence theory. Para po yung lack of involvement ng mga children, the children's lack of involvement is due to their dependence on their parents for financial security. So ano po ba yung mga practical exercises na kinakailangang ipinamamalas on this case study, which is the generational differences? So of course, number 1, kailangan mag-conduct sila ng generational transition workshop na kung saan po si Dr. George C. Together with his children po and yung mga apo, which is the kino-consider natin as third generation po in the family business, madidiscuss nila mabuti, ma-freshen up sila within the goals, values, and expectation po ng family business. At makakatulong din po ito also to help them to identify the areas of common ground. Of course, kailangan ma-develop din po nila yung succession plan that involves mentorship and training programs for the next generation, mahanda ang susunod ng mga henerasyon na mag-take over ng business, addressing concerns about work ethic and values. Of course, kailangan mag-create din sila ng family council. Pakahalaga po nito sa isang family business where family members can share their perspective and concerns, fostering open communication. So, as I've said earlier, communication is the key. Kailangan din naman naririnig ang boses ng bawat isa. So, bawat suggestion nila, maaaring maging makadagdag ito sa success ng kanilang business. So, dapat talaga discuss nila ng mabuti yung kanilang BNGO at yun na kailangan talaga nilang i-implement sa lahat ng bagay na hindi lang tungkol sa family business but also sa buhay natin araw-araw. Kailangan meron tayong clear and open communication para hindi nagkakaroon ng conflict. For the last case study na aming ginawa, this is magpo-focus naman tayo within the overlapping roles and responsibilities inside the business. So, in this one, ang scenario naman na nangyayari is the two family members John and Maria are responsible for different departments. Responsable sila sa magkaibang departamento sa loob ng Metrobank. However, their overlapping roles have led to confusion and inefficiencies. Ano po ba ang theoretical application na kinakailangan i-apply in this scenario po? So number one, nandiyan yung organizational theory. The lack of clear roles and responsibilities has created confusion within the organization. Of course, nandiyan din yung institutional theory. The family's cultural values emphasize loyalty and familiarity over efficiencies and effectiveness. So ano po ba yung mga practical exercises na kinakailangan sa isagawa ng Metrobank about this overlapping roles and responsibilities? Of course, kailangan nilang mag-conduct ng organizational review where John and Maria identify area of overlap and clarify their roles and responsibilities. Siyempre, kailangan na-establish din yung clear organizational chart na nag-outline ng trabaho ng iba't ibang departamento. Pati yung linya na kinakailangan piniperform ng iba't ibang departamento. And of course, kinakailangan ma-implement din nila ang job description update para yung process ay ma-ensure nila that the job responsibilities are clearly defined and communicated to employees na natatranscribe nila ng maayos sa kanilang mga empleyado yung job description ng kanilang company. By applying these theoretical concepts to real-world scenarios, Metrobank can develop effective solutions to common family business challenges na mostly kinakaharap din ng ibang family business inside and outside of the country. By analyzing case studies and practical exercises, the bank can improve communication, clearly roles and responsibilities, and of course, build trust among family members. So now let's proceed to the theories applied by Metrobank. Ano po ba ang mga teorya na nakita naming applied by Metrobank? Based on our research, ang mga theories na nakita namin applied inside the organization or inside the family business is number one, the stewardship theory, where Metrobank adhere to this theory by prioritizing long-term growth and sustainability over short-term gains. Of course, nakita din namin, based din sa na-research namin, nakita din namin na ang ina-apply din nilang theories inside the organization is resource-based view theory, where Metrobank is nagpo-focus po sila on building strong internal resources. For example, human capital, financial resources, para makapag-create sila ng competitive advantages on their family business. And of course, institutional theory. Both companies have institutionalized their values and practices through their codes of conduct and corporate governance structure. So, among these three, ang pinaka nakita po namin talagang na ipapamalas nilang teorya in their family business is the institutional theory. Bakit po namin nasabi na yun yung nakikita namin? Kasi institutional theory as applied to Metrobank po suggested that the family-owned business is influenced by the institutional environment in which it operates. The following themes are crucial po in understanding Metrobank dynamics. Nandiyan yung institutional environment where Metrobank po is operates within a broader institutional context that shapes its behavior and decision making. Of course, nandiyan din yung legitimacy. Maintain legitimacy by conforming the societal expectation and norms. Ang pinaprioritize din po ni bank is prioritize corporate social responsibilities initiatives to demonstrate its commitment to the community. And of course, nakita din namin upon research ang isophorism, that Metrobank may adopt similar practices and structure as other family-owned business in the Philippines, such as decision-making structures or family-based succession planning para ma-ensure po nila ang conformity and legitimacy ng kanilang negosyo. Nandyan din yung institutional entrepreneurship where the founder of Metrobank, Dr. George T, can be seen as institutional entrepreneurs po who have shaped the bank's identity and culture. They have introduced innovations and adapted to changing market conditions, ensuring po the bank is palaging nakakapag-survive and makikita palagi yung growth. Of course, lastly, yung dependence, where Metrobank rich history and legacy have created a path-dependent trajectory na nag-i-influence po ng current decisions and actions ng family business ng bangko. The bank's success have built on its ability to adapt to changing circumstances while maintaining its core values and mission. So, ang implications naman po for Metrobank, of course, embracing institutional change, where Metrobank should aware po of the evolving institutional environment and adapt its strategies accordingly. Which may involve embracing digital banking technologies or incorporating ESG, which stands for environmental, social and governance considerations into its decision-making process. Of course, yung maintaining legitimacy, dapat palagi pinaprioritize ang transparency, accountability, and social responsibility para ma-maintain ang reputation and legitimacy ng kanilang negosyo. Of course, kailangan din yung pag-build ng legacy. Bakit? The bank should recognize its heritage and legacy while also being open to change and innovation. Kahit ang sinusunod palagi ay ang mga nakalagay sa operational manual na binuo ng first generation, of course, kailangan open din ng business into change and innovation para sa ikagaganda ng family business and para sa pag-grow nito. So, Metrobank can better navigate the complex environment in which it operates and make informed decisions that balance tradition with innovation, legitimacy, and profitability, and family business values and social responsibilities. So, ano po ba yung mga theory or practice na ginagamit ni Metrobank to prosper? Of course, Metrobank strategy for prosperity, of course, nandiyan yung policy. Inside the policy, there is a risk management policy where Metrobank has implemented a robust risk management framework para ma-mitigate po nila yung potential threats and ensure stability. Of course, sustainability policy, the bank has committed to sustainable development and responsible banking practices, aligning with international standards and regulations. Of course, under policy, nandiyan din yung customer service policy, where Metrobank prioritized customer satisfaction, offering innovative products and services to meet their evolving needs. So, for the vision, mission, goals, and objectives po ng Metrobank po, nakita po namin ito in their official website. And based on my research po, ang nakalagay under BMGO, we aim to be the country's premier financial conglomerate, empowering our individual and business clients to realize their goals and reach their full potential by creating and customizing financial solutions in response to our stakeholders' needs, continuously expanding our scope of reach and leading in community service. We live up to ito po yung tagline nila, you're in good hands. Promise that embodies who we are at kung ano yung kaya nilang gawin. We are Metrobank. So ano po ba yung commitment nila within their bank? Of course, the trusted financial partner po. Our business, ang sabi doon sa website, according to their VMGO, of course, our business relies on the principles of trust, honesty, and integrity as we serve our customers and help them attain their financial goals. Of course, the employer of choice, we strengthen the organization by continuously developing and enhancing the abilities of our people. We nurture them into professional individuals with integrity and passion for service and excellence. We ensure their future by providing them with fulfilling career. Na maraming job opportunities na in-offer then of course si Metrobank sa mga job seekers, sa mga naghahanap ng job opportunities. Pwede rin ito sa mga, for example, sa fresh grads. Of course, tumatanggap din sila ng mga empleyados na meron ng working experience in different bank. Open po sila for job opportunities for ini-ensure po talaga nilang makapag-provide sila ng fulfilling careers. Of course, nandyan din yung responsible bank. Sila rin ay responsableng bangko. Bakit? Ang sabi doon, we adhere to the highest standards of corporate governance, exercising accountability, fairness, and transparency across all our business operations. We exercise good management to provide our stakeholders with sustainable returns on their investment. And of course, lastly, an institution with a heart. Bakit? Kasi we give them, according to them, we give back to the communities we serve, committed to making meaningful contributions to the economic and social development of our nation. Kung magre-research po kayo regarding po sa what Metrobank is, makikita po natin na marami ding inilulunsad na mga proyekto ang Metrobank para po makapag-extend sila ng tulong sa mga nangangailangan. Marami pong natutulungan ang Metrobank, most especially sa mga estudyante, sa mga gustong mag-open ng negosyo, sa mga gustong makapag-loan, and etc. So, ano ba yung goals ng Metrobank? Of course, expand digital channels and services. Nandiyan din yung increase customer base, ma-enhance po nila ang operational efficiency, and ma-strengthen po nila ang risk management and compliance. And for the objectives of their bank, of course, ma-achieve nila yung 10% growth in assets, ma-maintain po nila yung customer retention rate by 90%, and of course, ma-reduce po nila yung operational cost by 5%. So, the operation naman po ng Metrobank, nandyan yung digital transformation. Nag-invest po si Metrobank heavily in digitalization para po makapag-introduce pa ng maraming mobile banking apps, online platforms, and automation technologies to enhance customer experience and reduce costs. Of course, branch network optimization. Ang bangko po na ito, Metrobank, ay nag-optimize ng branch network, focusing on strategic locations and pag-modernize ng kanilang mga branches operations para ma-improve yung customer service. And lastly, yung talent development. Metrobank nag-i-invest din sila sa kanilang mga empleyado sa pagtitrain and pagdi-develop ng mga programa to foster a culture of innovation, teamwork, and continuous learning. So for the implementation and evaluation of this, Metrobank regularly reviews and updates its VMGO or yung Vision, Mission, Goals, and Objectives para ma-ensure nila yung alignment, congruence po with changing market conditions and stakeholders' expectation. The bank also conducts performance evaluations para ma-assess po nila yung progreso towards its goals and objectives. So, yung mga practice, this slide naman po is, we're going to talk about the theory naman. Kanina, yung theory na kanilang pinapractice for prosperity. This time naman, ito yung theory naman na they do not practice in their family business. Of course, separation of ownership and control. Yan po ay nakita namin based on our research. Metrobank is a family-owned business, of course, which means that the three siblings or family hold significant ownership and control. This can lead to potential conflicts of interest and a lack of independent oversight, potentially hindering the bank's decision-making and performance. Ano po ba yung mga recommendations and action plans na aming nabuo to lessen the tension po kapag nagkakaroon ng problema or para magkaroon po ng solusyon sa kanilang sa conflict po na nangyayari in this theory na hindi nila nakapractice. So number 1 po, nandiyan yung independent board members where Metrobank po should consider adding independent non-executive directors po to its board para makapag-provide ng objective perspective at ma-ensure po nila that decisions are made in the best interest of the bank. Of course, diversified ownership, where the T family or T siblings po consider gradually diversifying their ownership stake para po to reduce their influence and create a more balanced governance structure. And of course, nandiyan din yung dapat nakikita yung clear succession planning. Napakalaga po nito sa isang family business. Where Metrobank po should establish a clear and transparent succession plan for leadership positions, including the roles of CEOs to ensure continuity and stability. Of course, kailangan din po yung institutionalization of governance where Metrobank po should establish formal governance structures such as governance committee to ensure that decisions po are made in a transparent and accountable manner. And lastly, ang recommendation and action plan namin po for this problem is training and development. The bank should provide training and development programs for its employees to enhance their skills and capabilities, to reduce reliance on individual expertise. So, bakit nga po pala kami gumawa ng ganitong klase ng recommendations and action plans? Ano po ba yung benefits nito in the company? Of course, number 1, para ma-improve po nila yung kanilang governance, para rin ma-increase yung transparency inside the family business, enhance competitiveness, and increase employees' engagement. By addressing these issues po, Metrobank can improve its governance structure at sa pag-a-apply po ng ganitong recommendations, action plans, nagre-reduce din po ito ng potential conflicts po of interest and position itself for long-term success. So, siya po si Mrs. Marites Roldan Malubag, which is working po for Metrobank sa loob po ng 20 years. So, siya po yung in-interview at kasalukuyan po siyang nasa IT department ng Metrobank. Marami po kami natutunan sa kanya and also, siya rin po yung nagsabi sa amin na kapag nag-research po kami ng other informations po sa Metrobank, make sure dun po kami magre-rely sa kanilang official website. So the family circle of Metrobank po, based on our research, the two siblings or family po plays an active roles po sa Metrobank in terms of decision-making process. Then the code of business po ng Metrobank na kanilang ino-operate under a set of core values that guides their business practices po. Of course, nandyan yung customer focus, which providing excellent customer service, integrity, conducting business with honesty and transparency, innovation, teamwork, and accountability. So Metrobank po is a prominent family-owned business in the Philippines. Alam naman po natin yan, that have demonstrated resilience through their diversified portfolios and strong financial performance. Pinaprioritize po ng Metrobank ang long-term thinking, integrity, innovation, teamwork, and customer focus while adhering to various theories such as stewardship theory, resource-based view theory, and of course, yung na-discuss natin kanina, yung institutional theory. Their codes of conduct emphasize integrity, ethics, fairness, respect for others, and compliance with laws and regularization. So, gaya po ng sabi po ninyo, Doc, kinakailangan po sa inside the family business is dapat we do not rely on our knowledge, skills, and capabilities. Dapat rin pong sinusundan po natin yung mga theory na subok na for a longest time to be consistent, controlling, monitoring, and para ma-evaluate po natin na mabuti yung performance ng bawat isa inside the family business. And of course, kinakailangan palagi nating na binabasa, binabalik-balikan yung operational manual ng family business natin. Kung tayo ay magtatayo ng sarili natin family business, dapat siguraduhin natin ito ay may copy tayo na handwritten, documented siya all the time, and strictly implemented for the family business success. So, hanggang dito na lang po ang aking report, and of course, I would like to introduce again myself. I'm Rosalea M. Ignacio, and my partner po is si Danica Joyce Trajico.